What is going on, my peeps? Your boy Versatile is back with another video, back with my quick follow-up video after spending just basically an unhindered amount of time with this Galaxy S20 and this beautiful sky blue that be looking purple sometimes. That reflection is so clean on this. Took all the little stickers and all that type of stuff off. There's one that aligns it on the top, one aligns it on the bottom, and then the screensaver. So, you know, if you didn't know, go ahead and take those off. But after spending so much time with this phone, I have been enjoying this phone. This phone it feels so clean, man. I miss using a Samsung device. I can't even front. Like, I use the tablets, and that's why I'm always urged to try to use one again. But when you can use this device and it just feels so at home because of using a tablet, it's like you, in a way, you never left. That 120 hertz display on this is crazy. One of the first things I want to show you, though, before we actually get into the video, is my, actually I should say my, well, dang it, I forgot it does that, is my always on display. So if I tap it, boom, this is the way. Let's get it. Let's get it, y'all. Oh, woo. I love it. So yes, this is a great phone layout. Compliments to Mr. Mobile. When I saw his Ultra setup, I was like, let me go ahead and adopt that. So I did, and I actually like it. I just hate that you can't really touch on the screen anywhere to like bring up stuff. But outside of that, it's a great phone. It feels good. The 6.2 inch size is handleable. You know, it feels good in the hand. It doesn't feel, I mean, sometimes it feels slippery, sometimes it doesn't, but it feels good. In terms of the display, wow, how much of a difference this display is. Even though the pixel display is very good, part of it's the 120 hertz, but then part of it is just Samsung saves their best for their phones, of course, and so their display is flawless. I mean, I have the 120 hertz on, of course, and you may not be able to see it just because I record in 4K 30, so everything gets down res at 30. But even at 30, you should be able to at least see that it's pretty nice and sharp. So what about this device I want to show you guys? Well, here are some of the features that I find very nice with, you know, one, UI 2.0, and one of the first things is its overall cleanness. Now it's a little more rounded. It feels a little more sophisticated. They've, you know, the notification panel here is a little more rounded around the edges there. You swipe down, you can see that the color and the blue light filter, even though it's on right now, you can see even just within the icon they've added some touch. Let's turn it off for this video for now, but you can see they just added a little simple touches to it, you know, being able to swipe over. Look at that. And then of course, you know, when you go into something like a messages or something, how I scoot stuff down, so you got that way. It's within reach. I'm over here stuttering. It's within reach. So it's little small stuff like that in terms of one UI. I mean, even my little, you know, stock, I guess, Samsung weather widget, it still looks very clean. Now, one thing I would wish is they would show the actual temperature for each day in their widget, but aside from that, it's not a big deal. The one thing I'm a little confused about here, though, is the gapping in between their widgets, because I would expect my YouTube Music and my Pocket Cast to be a little wider in terms of the gapping, so it didn't feel like so much space was there. But aside from that, when you look at my calendar widget, it's rounded corners, looks nice, looks like it fits in there. I like the fact that with the folders you can change the actual color of the folders by clicking that and then clicking that, and then boom, you can actually change it to what you want. So it's just like some of the things you could do for your home screen, and then just a ton of widgets. I set my layout to be 5x5, a 5x5 grid for both apps, or both versions or whatever. I guess it's by row and by column. Down here I got my optimized widget, and then I left me a little space right here so I can hold down and be able to access like my card, you know, basically my home screen cards. So, and I got all my hue widgets right there. So that's just part of my setup. I actually forgot I could change the color of the Google bar, because I might change that to black. We'll see. I kind of like how the white stands out, but it looks nice. And so for me, instead of always having to swipe down to get to my settings, I like having the settings icon down here that I can click on. And in order for you to do that, if you did want that, you can go to display, and then you go to home screen. And if you click on home screen, like I said, my home screen grid and my app screen grid is 5x5. And then I changed my app icons from numbers to just showing a dot. There's a teeny dot too, by the way. Swipe down for notification panels. So I always jump on a Samsung device and enable that. It's nice that Google for the Pixel 4 series already has that enabled out the gate, and for the Pixel 3 XL, I believe. One of the things I have been enjoying, and I actually had to rework my Samsung Pay app, is the integration of Android 10's gestures, because I prefer being able to swipe from the left or from the right, and then be able to swipe up to go home, or swipe hold and I'm right here, and it's a little faster that way. I also increased my screen animations by half a second to actually get a faster recent apps animation. And so that, if you guys wanted to do that, so alright, so if I go down here, I have my developer options enabled, and how you do that is by going to About Phone, going to software information, and then you double tap on build number 7 times until it tells you developer mode is enabled. And then you go to enable, you go to developers options, and then you scroll down till you get to window animation, transition animation, and animator duration. You turn all those to 0.5 or half speed. Everything flows that much faster, and you get a faster recent apps. Now by what I mean by having to rework Samsung Pay, if we go into Samsung Pay and we go over here to settings, I had to change how I accessed my cards. So I believe it was, use favorite cards. I had to turn off home screen. If I had home screen on, you get the Samsung Pay icon right in the middle of the phone there. So trying to swipe up, it would automatically take you into Samsung Pay, and it was hard to actually swipe home, I guess you could say, on the home screen in order to bring up the recent apps. So I just turned it off for my home screen, but I still have it enabled for lock screen and screen off, so that way I can still access Samsung Pay. So that's why I can actually swipe up on the home screen now and actually access my recent apps. Another feature that I appreciate that Samsung has included in this Galaxy S20 series and the Galaxy Tab S6, and possibly the 6 gig version of the Galaxy Tab S4, is the ability to lock apps within the RAM. So that way those apps stay loaded, or will load really fast because of all the excess RAM you have. And so that's why it's nice to see on the Galaxy Tab S6, because it's 6 or 8 gigs of RAM. And with the Galaxy S20, there's 12 gigs of RAM. And so I can actually show you guys here. I have my Studios app. As you guys can see, I got my Studios app locked in. I got YouTube locked in, and I have one more app locked in. You can have up to 3 apps. Oh, right here, I got the internet locked in. So you can have up to 3 apps on the Galaxy S20 series, or at least the S20 and S20 Plus, I would imagine. But I think they all have 12 gigs of RAM, so one might have 16 Ultra maybe. But you can have up to 3 locked in, and then you'd have to unlock one and then lock a new app if you want to, switch apps around. And with the Galaxy Tab S6, you can lock at least 4 in, it appears. I don't know if I actually locked 4 in, but I attempted to at least try to lock 4. So that's another useful feature if you want to load specific apps that you like within the RAM, so that way the RAM will load that app up really fast for you. I find that feature to be very nice. If we go back into settings, what else do I like? Well, if we go within, they don't have download booster on here either. Maybe that's something that went away with Android 10, or just developers just don't, or Samsung and Google for that matter, don't really care for download booster anymore, or that's only a tablet feature now. But that's not, you can't use that anymore. So one of the other things I like in the display here is being able to turn on and off, of course, dark mode. And I wonder if you can actually schedule it on here. So you can. So through Samsung's One UI 2.0 on top of Android 10, you can already schedule dark mode on here. With Pixels, we just got that feature with the March Pixel drop. So it's nice, if you wanted to, you can change or schedule your dark mode settings to go sunrise to sunset or whatever, or your own custom time. Motion smoothness is where you change your high refresh rate. And of course, you see I got mine's on 120 hertz. Now, you will not be able to use 120 hertz with the QHD I think Samsung said they're working on an update to allow you to enable both, but so far, you know, I've been using the phone for a few hours now since having it. I want to say I've been using it for about 5-6 hours, almost 5-6 hours straight. I mean, if you take out about 30-45 minutes being at the gym, I've been using the phone for at least 4 hours of setting all my apps up and stuff like that, and having it charged up. I'm at 82% out of that time frame. Now I will say maybe an hour of that time I was still kind of on the charger setting up apps. So if you look at 3.5 hours of just straight usage off the charger, depleting from 100%, that's I've only lost about 17%, 18%. That's not too bad given that it's a 4,000 milliamp battery with 120 hertz. So would I max out this phone at QHD and at 120 hertz? Maybe, but since this phone isn't like 6.5 inches or bigger, I don't think QHD is as big of a deal. I think Full HD Plus is more than enough to get good sharpness, contrast, clarity in videos, specifically off of like YouTube and stuff like that. Now, screen mode, I have not tried natural, but they only have 2, and you can of course change your white balance to be more warm or more cool. I just left mine on vivid, and it is super vivid. Now if I hit natural, it definitely dumbs it down. It also changes the white a little bit. The white kind of gets a little, I don't know if you noticed, but the white gets a little warmer. But vivid keeps it a little more balanced in the middle. Not too much of a big deal to me, but I do like the vivid colors on Samsung's panels. And then screen resolution is where you can change from HD plus to Full HD plus to WQHD. And then navigation bar, this is where you come in to change how you actually want to use your phone. So if you want navigation buttons, you click on navigation buttons and you'll get the option to change or swap your recent apps in your back button. With full screen gestures, you have the option, as you see right here, to switch between Samsung's swiping and Android's swiping. Now our back sensitivity is on the less sensitive side. And then you can have gesture hints turned on, especially if you're using Samsung's hints. I didn't see them up for the Android's navigation gestures. And then you can show a button to hide keyboard. So when the keyboard is up, so if I can show you that right here, right here at the bottom here, you'll see the keyboard button right here, and you just click it to make it go away. So those are some of the features that I like so far. You can actually increase the touch sensitivity of the screen when you're using screen protector and stuff like that. So I don't know if Whitestone Dome Glass is still sending out screen protectors to everybody, but that's a great feature to use if you're using a solid screen protector like them. What else do I like in this phone? I like the wallpaper. I like the themes. That's why I got that This Is the Way theme for my always on display, was within the themes store for the Galaxy devices. For lock screen, I have my face, my pattern, and my fingerprints, and you'll have to have a pattern or some type of PIN passcode when you enable like a biometric security as a backup, so that way you can still get into your phone. And then smart lock is when you have Bluetooth devices connected and you want to keep your phone unlocked when that Bluetooth device is connected, and you go into smart lock. And most of the time, the phone will actually alert you as to when you'll be able to actually add your device to smart lock. And then secure lock settings, where you can change like how fast your phone locks and stuff like that. Always on display is a great way to get good battery life. So if you go into always on display, I have mine on tap to show. And so as you guys saw on the outset, in order for me to show you guys my This Is the Way art for always on display, I tapped it. And so I have this phone enabled to just tap to show, much like I did always on display for my Google Pixel device. That way I could get good battery. Now of course you can always show always, or you can show as scheduled, so you can schedule your always on display. You can change your clock style right within here. And of course, again, this is the way. This is the way. All right, so okay, thank you. Whoa, God, hey, see, it'd be getting annoying. Let me see here. So I go back in here. I don't know why. Alright, boom, back. And then I have it show music information on my always on display. So if I'm listening to music, I can still, play pause and skip tracks. And then that's it for this area. And then what else do I like on here in terms of any other thing? There's something I wanted to show you, but I can't think of it right now. And I think it had something to do with the battery life. But okay, biometric security. You can actually check for biometric security patches, which is pretty interesting. My March security patch, as you see, is on March 1st, 2020. Waiting on that Google Play System update to come through. You got Samsung Pass that will help you remember all your passwords, basically, and passcodes, your login information. And then that's it there. Yeah, I really can't find what I wanted to show you guys. If I go into advanced features here, I don't use Bixby routines. I'll be having a video about the call and text on other devices. And then if you also want to further reduce animations, you can click that reduce animations button right there. And then if you click on motion and gestures, I have them all on, but that's what I meant. The reason why I don't have my always on display on is because I also have lift to wake. So if I really wanted to wake my phone, instead of having my phone drain battery to display stuff at me all the time, I could just lift it, look at it if I want to, double tap to wake. I wish they had double tap to close on here. They might in good lock, but I'm not 100% certain. Smart stay, basically the camera or the iris scanner kind of pays attention to your eyes, so that way it doesn't activate your screen timeout mode yet until you're done looking at the screen. Smart alert is where you're able to, when you pick up the phone, it'll vibrate if you have like notifications and stuff like that. Easy mute is when you got alarms going off, you just place your hand over the phone and it'll silence the alarms. And then palm swipe to capture, again, it's super easy, just whoop, and it'll, oh, it didn't do it that time. Boom, there you go. So as you guys see, and then of course you can hit that down there to continue to scroll for your screenshot. Of course we don't need to do that. Let me go ahead and delete that there. Bye-bye. And then you got swipe to call or send messages, and that's enabled via like contacts and your messages app, like whoever's name you're on. If you swipe left or right, you're able to use that feature there. I don't use one-handed mode on here. I have game launcher on, which basically kind of like prioritizes your games and allows you to like block out certain things, certain notifications and stuff like that, and allow you to really have fun with your game. Now, one of the games I will preview you guys later is actually I'll do it now on this device. Before I do that though, I have video enhancement on, so it brightens the screen and helps with video and video playing apps and stuff like that. So those are some of the features that I really enjoy using. And again, device care, I like the new animation for device care, so it makes it feel more clean. Things are accessible. You can have to optimize now if you really had to. Right now I don't really have to. I don't think I will. I mean, I might, but we'll see. I mean, you see 12 gigs of RAM. Oof, my bad. You see 12 gigs of RAM. You see 128 gigs of storage. It's still learning my usage pattern for the battery, so it's going to be a couple of days before we find out what the battery life is really going to be like, but I'm anticipating being able to get 5 hours with no issues on this device. Now, as I said, I was going to show you guys my favorite game, which is enabled. It does have 120 hertz capabilities, which is Marvel Contest of Champions. So I'm gonna cut this on real quick and see if it will actually do 120 hertz. Alright, so sorry for that. If I swipe down here, you guys will see tap to open game booster. And so when you do that, okay, I'll do it that way. I haven't actually started it, but it says it just needs access to storage, I guess. And then once it's activated, I guess you come back in here again, tap to it, and now here's the options you get with Game Booster, such as being able to monitor temperature. You can monitor your memory, your battery life over here on the right, saying you got about 4 hours and 33 minutes, I guess of gaming. Still learning the usage pattern, so it's not as accurate, but it looks like the time's going up. And then you can screen touch lock, right? You can screen touch lock, as you guys can see right there, and you can screenshot right here. And then the little settings button right here takes you into the Game Booster, and you can make sure you got your Dolby Atmos activated. How long did it take before your screen locks during the game. You can power save while locked. You can full screen apps, pop-up panel, shortcuts, floating shortcuts, and the screen resolution, of course, 100%. You can focus on power saving, you can focus on being balanced, you can focus on performance, of course, and then Yes. Now it would be nice in here if it told you could do something. So I don't have no floating shortcut, but if I wanted to, you got screen touch lock, screenshot, or pop-up panel, and then shortcut is the screen touch lock, and then of course your pop-up panel. So those are some of the features you can use within the while you're playing games to kind of help you game. Now upon kind of just maneuvering in this game real quick, the 120 hertz is not activated, and I don't know how to activate it. So unless not overlook the feature in developer options, maybe it's a software update that Samsung could also push out for that, because I would definitely love being able to game in 120 hertz with my favorite game. I have not taken any pictures yet. I've just been setting it up, enjoying it, getting the feel for it, and just kind of admiring this color. Pictures and stuff like that. Of course, camera video tips will be down the pipes coming soon. But I did want to come through, show you guys some of my favorite features after kind of using the phone and how I have my phone set up. So now I'll be using dark mode. So I try my best to hold out with the light mode. It's time to activate it. That is it for this video. Hope you guys appreciate and enjoyed it. Again, if you guys haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that way you guys know when I drop videos. But that is it for this video. Your boy Versatile signing out, and until the next video, wait for it.